You wake up every morning expecting the world to hand you something, like you're owed it. Like breathing entitles you to success, like existing means you deserve to win. But here's the truth they won't tell you in those cheerful Instagram posts with sunrises and coffee cups. You don't deserve anything, not a single thing. The universe doesn't know your name. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't keep score of your suffering and plan to reward you later for surviving Monday mornings and bad relationships. You were born into chaos, and chaos doesn't negotiate. Every night you lie there, don't you? Staring at the ceiling? Making promises to a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet. Tomorrow I'll start. Next week I'll change. When things calm down, when I have more time, when the stars align, you're waiting for permission that will never come. You're waiting for readiness that doesn't arrive until after you've already jumped. And meanwhile, time is eating you alive. Every second you spend in that comfortable prison of tomorrow is a second you'll never get back. Your future self is screaming at you through the walls of time, begging you to move, and you can't hear it because you're too busy refreshing your phone. Here's what nobody tells you about motivation. It's a lie. Motivation is that drunk friend who shows up at 2 a.m., promises to change your life, makes you feel invincible for 20 minutes, then disappears for 3 months. You don't need motivation. You need something darker, something that doesn't abandon you when things get hard. You need obsession. You need to become so disturbed by the gap between who you are and who you could be that staying the same becomes more painful than changing. You need to romanticize the struggle so deeply that comfort starts to feel like death. Because here's the secret. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about wanting something so badly that everything else becomes background noise. You think your enemies are other people, your competitors, the ones who have what you want. Wrong. Your enemy is you, specifically the version of you that's terrified of being great, because being great means you'll have no more excuses. No more, I could have been something if only. That voice in your head that sounds like reason? That's not wisdom. That's fear wearing a mask. It tells you to be realistic, to play it safe, to not risk embarrassment. It tells you this because the person you could become is a threat to the person you currently are. And the person you currently are wants to survive. So you have a choice to make, and you have to make it right now. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready. Now. You can keep living in the warm bath of mediocrity, telling yourself stories about why things didn't work out, collecting excuses like participation trophies. Or you can step into the cold shock of becoming. And let me be clear, it will hurt. You will fail. You will look stupid. You will question everything. There will be nights when you'll lie awake wondering if you're delusional for even trying. And here's the beautiful, terrible truth. You probably are delusional. But so is everyone who ever built anything worth building. The world is divided into two types of people. Those who live in reality and those who bend reality to their will through sheer refusal to accept limitations. The first group is larger. They're reasonable. They're practical. They die having never tasted the electricity of truly living. The second group, they're the ones who looked at the impossible and said, "Watch me." They're the ones who were called crazy until they were called visionary. You want to know the difference between them and you? Nothing. Except they decided that the pain of trying was preferable to the pain of wondering what if for the rest of their lives. So here's your homework, and it's due immediately. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop collecting information as a procrastination strategy. Stop asking for signs from a universe that's tone deaf. Choose your delusion. Choose the impossible thing you're going to make real. Then become so obsessed with it that your current life becomes intolerable, because the truth is you're going to die anyway. The question is whether you'll die as someone who tried and failed or someone who was too afraid to try at all. The clock is ticking. You were never going to be ready. Now move. You're rotting. Right now. As you sit there, your cells are dying, your time is bleeding out, and you're spending it scrolling, waiting, hoping that somehow life will just happen to you. It won't. You want to know what you really are? You're a walking corpse that hasn't stopped moving yet. Every breath brings you closer to the nothing you came from. And what are you doing with this brief, violent flash of consciousness between two infinite voids? You're making excuses. You're negotiating with yourself like you have time to negotiate. Like death is going to wait while you figure things out or find yourself or whatever other comfortable lie you tell yourself at 3 a.m. when the truth gets too loud. Your parents are getting older. Can you hear it? The clock ticking on their heartbeats? Your friends are moving on, building lives, becoming people you won't recognize in 5 years. And you're stuck, paralyzed. Not by circumstances, by the exquisite comfort of your own mediocrity. You've made a home in not quite successful, not quite happy, not quite living, just existing, breathing, but not alive. And the most horrifying part? You've gotten good at it. You've become an expert at being almost. You've built an entire identity around potential energy that you never convert to kinetic. You are a loaded gun that's too afraid to fire because what if you miss? What if the recoil hurts? So you just sit there, loaded, safe, useless. Let me tell you what happens if you don't change. 5 years from now, you'll be sitting exactly where you are now. Maybe different furniture, same prison. And you'll remember this moment, this exact moment, when something in you screamed to wake up and you hit snooze. You'll be at a wedding, a funeral, a dinner party, and someone will ask what you've been up to. And you'll feel that familiar knife twist in your stomach as you realize you have nothing to say. No stories, no scars, no proof that you were here. Just a resume of reasons why not. 10 years from now, you won't even recognize the person you could have been. That version of you will haunt you like a ghost of a better timeline. You'll see them in your peripheral vision, successful, fulfilled, alive, and you'll have to live with knowing you murdered them through inaction. Here's what they don't tell you about comfort. It's a predator. It doesn't kill you quickly. It's too intelligent for that. It sedates you. It makes you soft. It whispers that tomorrow is good enough, that you've earned rest, that you deserve to take it easy. And while you're sleeping, it's eating you alive from the inside out. You think you're resting. You're decomposing. Every day you choose comfort over growth, a part of you dies. Not metaphorically, actually dies. Neural pathways that could have connected didn't. Opportunities that could have opened, closed. Versions of yourself that could have existed got aborted. You are becoming less, smaller, dimmer. And the worst part, you're doing it voluntarily. You want to know why you can't sleep at night? It's not anxiety. It's not stress. It's not the world falling apart. It's your soul screaming. Some animal part of you, the part that existed before language, before civilization, before you learned to lie to yourself, knows you're wasting your one shot. It's trying to wake you up, trying to tell you that you're dying without ever having lived, but you can't hear it over Netflix, over social media, over the 1,000 little distractions you use to drown out that voice. Because if you actually listen to it, you'd have to do something. You'd have to change. You'd have to become the person who frightens you most. Someone with no excuses left. So let's talk about pain. The pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. They're both agony, but discipline pain. It ends. You suffer. You grow. You become stronger. It's pain with a purpose. Pain that builds. Regret pain? That's forever. That's lying on your deathbed replaying all the moments you were too scared to try. That's looking at your children and realizing you taught them through example to be afraid. That's the pain of knowing you had everything you needed except courage. And here's the thing about regret. It doesn't hurt less over time. It metastasizes. Every year you don't act, the weight gets heavier. The gap between who you are and who you could have been becomes an abyss. And eventually, it's too wide to cross. Eventually, you stop even thinking about crossing it. You just accept that you're on the wrong side.